In Frieren, the primary antagonists are the demons, powerful magic users from beyond the human realms who have been the enemy of humanity for generations. After their introduction, it is established that the demons are, in Frieren's words, nothing but articulate monsters, creatures who aren't people the way humans or dwarves or elves are. They are instinctually driven to kill and only capable of speaking and understanding so far as it helps them trick and kill more people. Demons don't even know what it means to negotiate a truce or beg for mercy or cry for mama, only that it gets humans to lower their guard. They are, from the human perspective, an inherently evil race, inscrutable, irredeemable monsters by nature. The trope has a long history in speculative fiction, and has attracted criticism for much of it. The discourse on Tolkien's inclusion of the orcs in Middle-earth could probably fill as many pages as the trilogy itself. It can start as a convenience for the author, make it easier to set the tone of the work if you have unsympathetic bad guys for your heroes to slaughter. But not only does it greatly limit the storytelling potential of a work to only have real characters on one side, but in today's pluralistic societies, asserting that groups of people are irredeemably evil tends to raise eyebrows. I think this latter interpretation is best understood through a genre of fiction which cropped up in the late 19th century: invasion literature. Invasion literature got its start in Britain, as the World Wars came on the horizon, as the empires started to get long in the tooth. The formative examples spring from these tea-time anxieties. What if we lost a war? What if we got invaded and colonized? H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds is the quintessential science fiction example. A superior force with superior technology coming to conquer Earth. Some of these are little more than pulp, trying to cash in on fear and the current geopolitical rumblings. But when read at the Metropole, you can imagine it as being self-reflective on what your society has done to others. But of greater interest to us today is another, uglier strain of invasion literature, of which Bram Stoker's Dracula is commonly cited as a founding example. It's a little difficult for us to understand today, when Romania is seen as nothing if not an upstanding member of European civilization. But viewed from historical context, it isn't hard to argue that the seminal vampire novel treats the people of Transylvania as an exotic other, no less than the hooting tribesmen of darkest Africa. The vampires are the malingering, degenerated nobility, trying to reassert their ancient privileges over modern bourgeois society. But rather than as a military or political threat, the vampires exist on a baser level as something that steals and multiplies and subverts. This subgenre is defined by an expanded list of anxieties, less defeat than fear of the other. The threat not so much occupation as annihilation. A fear of rapacious hordes that consume and assimilate. I would break it down as a list of fears like: they are nothing like us. They are a corrupted version of us. They cannot coexist with us. They are a rapidly breeding horde who will outnumber us. They are infiltrating our society. They wish to supplant us. They are big and strong, but stupid. They will only overcome us through trickery and cunning. They are stupid, but will steal or subvert our powers. They will steal our women. It's very hard not to find genre fiction that stresses one or two of these bullet points with regard to the antagonists, and that's okay. It's important to note that taken individually, most of these are just rather ancient and elemental storytelling tropes, rather than a grand statement of racial animus. But when you see works where most or all of these points can be applied to the villains, or worse, when the baddies are clearly meant to resemble real-life persons or groups, it starts to become worrisome. There comes to be a point where you are just repeating particular rhetoric that outright racists use in real life. But if you look at the demons in Frieren, and you look at this list, it's kind of hard to check off more than one or two of these bullet points. The demons are not morally compatible with humanity, but that's kind of it. The demons are depicted as individualist and few in number, with a sophistication when it comes to magic. They kill people for sport and mostly do what they do for no more purpose than so they can continue killing. Indeed, it is humanity which is the rapidly breeding, numerically superior horde that must steal the superior power of the demons in order to succeed. Even if you try to stretch it through a racist lens, it's hard to map this onto any real-world racist belief beyond the simple concept of categorical xenophobia. It probably won't stop people from putting funk music over Frieren doing a fast draw on Lugnut here, but weirdos also treat Kaon as a synonym for the 14 words. It doesn't have much to do with the actual text. So, while you can say that having the antagonists of a story be natural, obligate villains is a lame, uninteresting trope, I think you would be hard-pressed to say that it by itself is anything more malign than that. The story thus far has none of the racial invasion literature markers that indicate some kind of hateful belief. In fact, I think this is an indivisible part of Frieren as a series. The titular elf is herself mentally incompatible with humanity, thanks to her aeonic lifespan, and this is the primary source of both comedy and drama through the series. The similarly long-lived demons are just a more malicious counterpoint. An entire arc later in the manga is devoted to exploring the demonic mentality and lack of ethics at length. Rather than a narrative shortcut, it seems to me that the inherent amorality of the demons is more a central theme of Frieren that the mangaka is trying to explore. So relax, and never listen to what a demon has to say.